What's something that you did once that you'll never try again? The Bean Boozled challenge. Duck that shit. Oh god, my youngest kid loves those things. He doesn't want to eat them. He just wants to feed them to you. Fuck that dude. You have to eat one of these shits. 2. 1 for 1. On that note, they should work pretty well for doing drinking games if you have a kid around who wants to play. Hiking alone in the woods by my house, which people said a demon lives, bro. It wasn't a demon, no, it was a hobo with a BB gun. And I got shot, it hurt like hell. First and only time I went hiking / backpacking alone. I got attacked by desperados in the middle of the night. People are loads scarier than any demon we can imagine. What about a furry demon trying to duck ire? I used alcohol to clean my ass. What ended up happening? It was clean. Lose my virginity without protection to a married woman with a husband in prison. Preparation H is a hemorrhoid cream that claims to be cooling and soothing. For hemorrhoids that may be the case. However, if you're a Harleys, just draw from too many beers and hot wings. The cream is nothing short of molten steel being applied to your poop chute. Can I hire you to narrate my life? In my early 20s I had sex with a woman nearly twice my age. Now I'm in my early 60s, I almost certainly won't be doing that again. Fancy cracking open a cold one, mate. Edit. Thanks for the award, sicko. Edit to Sickus. You don't need to bring flowers if she's newly dug in. I put icy hot on my balls as an experiment. That was a different kind of pain. It's not icy at all. Just burning hot pain. Source also tried. Why do people do this? Marriage. I'm still married, but I wouldn't do it again. Wife knows your Reddit account, huh? He never said he won't divorce. Cocaine. I enjoyed it too much. My experience too with coke. I really liked it. I wanted to talk to people. Was having a good time. But most of all I wanted more coke. I firmly believe that if I had access to more, I would've done all there was and died. Never again. I feel like that's the problem with it. It just makes you want to do more constantly until you come off of it. Put my tongue onto my sit stuck to the ice. I pulled it out and started bleeding from my mouth during a family reunion. Never again. Just watched another video like that. I don't think it's the pain that would really get me, but definition the missing tongue chunk and not being able to drink and eat for a few days. Upvote for tongue chunk. I was in the army once. Bruh, I feel you. I joined the army already being in my mid-20s. I thought it would make me cool or tough. I had a college degree before I joined. I enlisted. I quickly realized I made myself the lowest of the low loser in a military town. Lower enlisted. My self-esteem took a dump. Crack. Tried it once for 12 years. Wouldn't recommend. Wait. The rock was really big. I hiked to Everest Base Camp. Hired my own guide porter so that I wouldn't be in a giant group. Ended up just being me, 2 friends, and guide. The porter always hiked ahead. This took 8 days. Then 6 days to hike back via an alternate route that took us over an epic alpine butte and over top the longest glacier in the Himalayas. It was the most amazing experience of my life, but also the most challenging. The trail is not very technical at all, aside from the alpine crossing, which is somewhat technical. You need crampons and parts are a bit sketchy. What gets you are the high altitudes. I more or less live at sea level, so my body is not used to hiking higher than 5,000 meters at all, let alone 4,000 meters or even 3,000 meters. As soon as we landed at the trailhead, 2850 meters or so, I started feeling a bit dizzy and lightheaded. The first day of hiking is not so bad and takes you a bit downhill actually, to 2650 meters or so. But the mental battle / challenge that the rest of the hike would be became clear right away. We didn't struggle to complete day 1. But it wasn't easy either. Every single uphill portion was tough. I had to stop to catch my breath often. Day 2 was insane. You hike up to 400 meters and that last hour or so is all uphill. It's the first real tough day on the trail. When I finally got to Namche Bazaar, our destination for that day, I was sure that I was out of all energy I had in my body. I had no idea how I was going to continue. High altitudes just mess with you so much, and they affect each person differently. The next day, it was an acclimatization day. They call these rest day. What you do is you climb a mountain, stay up there for a half an hour, which triggers your body to produce more white red blood cells. Then you descend back down and sleep at the same altitude you slept at the previous night. This makes the next 2 to 3 days of hiking easier, as your body begins adapting to those altitudes as soon as you reach those heights during the rest day. That rest day was even tougher than day 2. I didn't think I would make it all the way to the top. Our guide pushed me and motivated me, and kept an eye on my health and high altitude sickness symptoms, which can kill you. He taught me to take this sort of challenge step by step, one step at a time. He also taught us how to keep a proper pace and how to walk properly at those latitudes. We basically followed him, his pace, and kept an eye out on how he moved his legs. Anyway, the rest of the hike saw us climb 3 more mountains. One rest day, one mountain to view Mount Everest from, and one mountain to get epic views from near Gokyo Lakes. We crossed that epic alpine crossing and hiked on top of the longest glacier in the Himalayas. It was such a beautiful and amazing experience. Yet, when we were done, I knew that I would never return to do this hike again. I do want to return to Nepal one day. It's such an amazing country, but if I ever go I'm likely to do the Annapurna circuit. It would be a challenge as well, but I just don't see myself going through the exact same challenges before. I would know what's coming up, and I would know how long there is to go on almost every day, and there would probably be even more people on the trail. We sort of had perfect conditions on the trail, so I sort of want to leave myself with that memory of what the hike was like. Opium. Back in high school was smoking weed at my buddy's house when he busted out a pipe full of opium. Got insanely couch locked. Felt a glorious body and mind high. Vowed to never do an opiate recreationally again, as it felt way too good. Most of those friends ended up on heroin, so I really dodged a bullet there. That's exactly how I felt the first and only time I tried heroin. I don't think I'll go back to college. Wasn't for me. I'm just glad finals are over. It's been 30 years, but I'm still glad about it. I've been out for roughly 5 years, and I still have nightmares that I've forgotten to show up to my Tuesday/Thursday math course and it's finals and I'm fucked. I didn't even skip classes when I went. Closed bracket. Talking to a Scientologist. I know Scientology is a cult, but what is it like? What do they believe? Basically just a rejected science fiction novel by L. Ron Hubbard. I stayed overnight at a store I was working at because the lock on their door broke. This wasn't my store, and the manager said quite a few times she'd be there soon. I ended staying from the beginning of the shift, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to 6 o'clock in the morning. The manager lived 20 minutes from the store, but it took her 8 hours to get there. After this, I planned on transferring to that store because it's a lot closer than my current one. The following Friday, my transfer was cancelled because, and I'm serious, not enough determination to work here / not manager material. I have been a manager since early February of last year. Also, I had a determination to stay all night for a store that wasn't mine. So, when they asked for their store keys back, I told the manager to go duck herself. That report was 100% a lie, and she knows it. She called my current manager to tell her what happened, and my manager took my side entirely. Now, when that store's manager needs help, my manager offers to send me. She refuses every time. I won't stay with the company for much longer because of hours being cut / driving distance, but I'll remember how badly they treated me for a while. She can still go duck herself. Betraying my dreams for somebody else's dream for me. Stayed with a girl for 3 years because I was codependent and lost all my friendships to the relationship. Totally got in my head and convinced myself I needed her, even though she constantly gaslighted me, made fun of my interests and hardly showed any affection. Never again. God, it feels great to be free and have friends and to know that it'll be okay without a romantic partner. I was in the same situation for 4 years. How about that? Got minor surgery with only local anesthetic. Still hurt like hell at certain moments of and more when he went through scar tissue, and for some reason numbing doesn't work well on me, so I needed an extra shot, and even when it didn't I could feel the tearing, and it was just so unsettling, so uncomfortable. My body was being shaken around because some of it was liposuction, and it is violent. -7/10 would not recommend. If I ever need another scar revision, which is what that was, it hasn't fully healed yet, or any other kind of surgery, I'm going full general anesthesia. I'll even wait and save if it costs too much. I ain't going through that again. Do you have red hair? Wait, are you referring to— oh, I just googled. That's a thing. Inhale alcohol. It's a quicker, dangerous way to get drunk. Don't recommend it. I had an Aussie roommate who used to be a bartender, so one of his signature drinks had a 151 top that he ignited. Put a coaster over the drink, then inhale the fumes. Totally don't recommend. Yeah, I've done that, and you get absolutely licking listed for 15 seconds. Bad hangover. Quite dangerous. Don't recommend. My brother and I walked across an expansive railroad trestle with a wide river flowing vigorously below. If a train had come, we rolled risked having to jump into the rapidly moving river. Never again. Haven't you seen Stand By Me? Ran a half marathon. I suffered through the training and got told, when you hit the finish line, it will all be worth it. When I crossed the finish line I felt like I was dying, and I hated every second of the race. My mentor finally admitted maybe running isn't for you. Absolutely agree with this. Spent so much energy trying to be a runner and enjoy it. Never worked out for me. 7th grade. The toughest 3 years of my life. Bunked a train for a whole day from home to somewhere north of the UK and back. Unintentionally. Because I believed a massive lie and almost got arrested. And never told my parents. Sorry guys. Exclamation mark. Basically, I was a naive 16-year-old and met up with an ex-BF who convinced me he bought a ticket for himself and me to visit a place up north for a day trip. We got around 3/4 of the way to where we were going, and out of nowhere a train conductor was on his way down our carriage. And he said he wanted to change seats and ushered me down the train into the next carriage. Obviously this looked dodgy, and we did this once more before the conductor stopped us and asked for tickets. By which point, ex-BF confessed to lying entirely and just wanted me to bunk the train to see him and go to his place. I had no idea he moved. Thought he was just in the next town over. Close bracket. Conductor let us off because we said we would get tickets at the next stop, which happened to be where we wanted to get off. Got off the train. Went to the gate to get out to the ticket office to check how much a ticket home was going to be, which was more than what I had on me. Told the dude to either pay for my way home or I'd have to call my mum. Ended up calling my mum. Told a lie saying I missed my stop cause I fell asleep or something and didn't have funds to get back. And still, I have not fessed up to this day. It was terrifying. And many panic attacks happened. And quite frankly I was a CL but a twat lol. Depending on how forgiving and nice your mother is, I'd recommend telling her. Hopefully she'd understand it was an issue of manipulation instead of you just forgetting. Besides, if it's been a few years it sounds like something you could laugh about now. Allow myself to go into mountains of debt again. Working my life away just to pay bills was absolutely miserable. Filing for bankruptcy in my late 20s was not something I ever thought I would be doing when I was younger. But I'm thankful for the fresh start and lessons learned. Life is so much more enjoyable when you're not drowning. Do you feel like the debt was the kind of inevitable debt that happens when poor people need to invest in their futures? Or was it like avoidable debt? Math. Really liked the tingly sensation my tea tree shampoo gave my scalp. Decided to scrub my body with it. My skin was on fire and then started itching like crazy. I was as red as a lobster for a couple hours. Eating a burger with 800 grams of beef patties plus bacon and other toppings. Edit. Finally fixed busture. My arteries are completely blocked off just reading that. Half a bottle of XXX hot sauce on my burrito during work. My underwear ended up in a garbage can out front of a closed down Coach outlet. Still do it every few days after work, but never during ever again. I'm happy you throw your underwear away at the coach outlet now after work, and not during anymore. I nearly spat out my coffee. Thanks for that laugh. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.